her to discover what great parents, teachers, CEOs, and athletes already know, that our mindset is the basis of accomplishment. Lesson 1. The two mindsets. People with the fixed mindset believe intelligence can't be changed. This leads to a desire to look smart, so they avoid challenges. They don't want to look bad if they fail, which holds them back. In the face of obstacles, they get defensive or give up easily. They see effort as pointless and believe that people are only great at things because they were born with special talents. When confronted with constructive criticism, they ignore it. Lastly, they feel threatened by the success of others. People with a fixed mindset achieve much less than they're capable of. On the other hand, people with a growth mindset believe intelligence can be developed. This leads to a desire to learn, so instead of avoiding challenges, they embrace them. They persist in the face of obstacles and see effort as a path to mastery. They accept constructive criticism and use it to their advantage. Lastly, they feel inspired by and learn from the success of others. As a result, they fulfill their ultimate potential. Lesson 2. Mindset in sports. Michael Jordan wasn't a natural. He was one of the hardest working athletes in history. He was rejected by his high school varsity team and the first two NBA teams that could have chosen him. He was devastated, but his mother told him to work hard and discipline himself, and that's exactly what he did. He used to leave the house at 6 in the morning to practice before school. But what about people that seem to just be a natural? Yes, these people exist, but Carroll argues that with all the praise for their talents and with how little work they've needed to put in, they can easily develop a fixed mindset. They may not learn how to work hard or cope with setbacks. A growth mindset is what allows athletes to maintain their success in the long term. Carroll found that athletes with a growth mindset found success in doing their best in learning and improving, found setbacks motivating, and took charge of the processes that bring success. Lesson 3. Mindset in business. Jim Collins and his team conducted a 5-year research project with the aim to find out how companies go from good to great. One thing they found was that great companies had leaders with a growth mindset. In the late 1980s, IBM was in trouble. Their culture was filled with people trying to be better than each other. They had a culture of smugness and defending personal status that inhibited learning and growth. In 1993, they asked Lou Gerstner to turn things around. Lou had a growth mindset and encouraged teamwork and got rid of the uptight culture. Over the next 9 years, IBM increased in value by 800%. Ultimately, Carroll argues that successful businesses need to train leaders, managers, and employees to have a growth mindset. This can be done by cultivating a growth mindset environment and involves presenting skills as learnable, conveying that the organization values learning and perseverance, not innate talent, giving feedback that promotes learning and future success, and presenting managers as resources for learning. Lesson 4. Mindset in relationships. There's 2 common ways of dealing with pain and heartbreak in a relationship. The first is to label yourself as unlovable and seek revenge. This is how fixed mindset people deal with it. They let these experiences scar them and prevent them from forming new relationships in the future. For people with the growth mindset, it's about understanding, forgiving, and moving on. Although they are deeply hurt from these negative experiences, like anyone would be, they want to learn from it. In a relationship, it's possible to believe your qualities, your partner's qualities, and the relationship's qualities are fixed. But the growth mindset says that these 3 things can be developed. 2 fixed ways of thinking about a relationship are: 1. If you have to work at it, it wasn't meant to be. The truth is that all relationships require work and effort, and you can't expect your partner to know your needs if you don't communicate them effectively. The romanticized idea of a perfect, problem-free relationship that automatically works is unrealistic. And the second way of thinking about a relationship is that problems indicate character flaws. People often blame their relationship problems on their partner and assign the blame to a character flaw. They think that their partner is just an angry person, when really, the problem is not the person but the situation. If Julie is angry every day when Jim gets home from work, instead of blaming Julie for being an angry person, he could look at the situation and try to understand why she's always angry by communicating with her. By doing this, a solution can be found. Finally, your partner may have different skills, beliefs, and values than your own. A growth-minded approach to a relationship is helping your partner to reach their own goals and fulfill their potential. Lesson 5. Mindset in Parenting and Teaching. The way children think about themselves is heavily based on the messages they receive from their parents and teachers. This has a direct effect on their learning and development. With every interaction you have with a child, ask yourself, am I giving them the fixed mindset message that they have permanent traits and I'm judging them? Or am I communicating a growth mindset message that says, you are a developing person and I'm interested in your development? Another critical lesson is to not praise children's intelligence. If you say, you learn that quickly, you're so smart, what children really hear is, if I don't learn something quickly, I'm not smart. Or if you say, you're so brilliant, you got an A without even studying, children really hear, I better quit studying or they won't think I'm brilliant. This doesn't mean don't praise your children, but praise their effort and choices, not their intelligence and talent. You could say, you really studied for your test and your improvement shows it. You read the material over several times and you tested yourself on it. It really worked. Consider this real-life scenario. 9-year-old Elizabeth loved gymnastics and was determined to win the local gymnastics competition. She did very well, but not enough to win. She was devastated. If you were her parents, what would you do? Tell Elizabeth you thought she was the best? Tell her she was robbed of a ribbon that was rightfully hers? Reassure her that gymnastics is not important? Tell her she has the ability and will definitely win next time? Or tell her she didn't deserve to win? Feel free to pause the video and think about this for a moment. Now let's run through each answer. A is insincere and doesn't offer her a way to improve. B places blame on the judges when the problem was her performance. Do you want Elizabeth growing up to blame others for her deficiencies? C is a fixed mindset response that teaches her to devalue something if she doesn't do well right away. D, does ability automatically take you where you want to go? If Elizabeth didn't win this one, why should she win the next one? And finally E, it seems harsh and obviously you'd say it in a nicer way, but this is necessary to help Elizabeth cultivate a growth mindset that will bring her success in the future. Her growth-minded father told her, Elizabeth, I know how you feel. It's so disappointing to have your hopes up and perform your best but not win. But you know, you haven't really earned it yet. There were many girls who've been in gymnastics longer than you have and who've worked a lot harder than you. If this is something you really want, then it's something you'll have to really work for. Elizabeth took this to heart and spent more time perfecting her routines. At the next competition, she became the overall champion. Now for the final lesson, how to change your mindset. The first way is to access Carol's resources. One is the Brainology computer program, designed to help students develop a growth mindset through classroom activities and online instruction. Other resources include a live workshop, webinars, keynote presentations, and more. The second way to change your mindset is merely knowing about the growth mindset. Imagine the impact we can make by sharing this video with someone you know. It could be your friends, family, partner, students, or co-workers. I don't ask you to share this just to increase my subscriber count. I value having a positive impact on people's lives, and by sharing this video, you can do the same. To summarize, we learnt about fixed and growth mindsets, mindset in sports, business, relationships, parenting, and teaching, and how to change your mindset. In the next video, you will learn how to discover your strengths, values, and learning style, how to develop a sense of belonging,